Good evening, students, and welcome back to PTS Guide Expert. So, yesterday was the first session, which was just an introduction to this interface of Revit, and I showed you how to lay the levels and grids. Fine. So, yesterday there was something which was left out while showing this two different fields, that is levels and grids. That is, if you go to this particular south elevation, then I showed you that how to create LL levels. That is by clicking LL, you can just pick lines, or what you can do is that you can click from here and then hover your mouse until it snaps to that particular designated height and then create that particular level. But there is one another way of creating one level also. If you just scroll up and if I just expand this tab, structural plans, can you see that right now this basement slab, plinth level and terrace plan, only three levels are visible. Rest, but there are in total, basement, ground, plinth, first, and terrace, five levels, which are not present for the structural plan. So, how to activate that? Both of that are interconnected. Both of these functions are interconnected. So, if you ever happen to create level by copy, for example, if I just select this particular level and press CO, CO is the copy and generic command for all the softwares. For copies, CO is the shortcut for copy command for all the software. It is very much pretty much generic. And if I just happen to create one level by copy command, then what you see that for this annotation, this bubble in this case appears black and it is not visible in any of the segments, neither in the floor plans, neither in the ceiling plans. Fine. See, it's not there. So it is not an authentic layer. So how to convert that into an authentic layer? So there is that point. If you just go to view, then under plan views, you have this particular floor plan. Okay. And under floor plan, right now you see that this level 6 is popping up, which is not an authentic layer. And if you just click that, so that will make it an authentic layer. And now at that particular, this icon has turned to blue and now it is an authentic layer. And of course, that layer is now visible here in the project browser also. One thing which I forgot apart from this was that right now, if you just see that particular thing, yeah, structural plan, how to bring the structural plan. So plan views and just go to floor plans, and under this, not floor plans, but go to structural plan, reflected ceiling plan, and next is the structural plan. Okay, so structural plans, for that you have this three levels which has not been created. Just that select, press one, two, shift, hold control key and select all of that and say okay. So that will create all of that, and now your structural plans also have all the levels created. Fine. Apart from this, there was one thing which I forgot to show you, and that was what it was. uh, how to create levels, authentic layers, and yeah, fine. So you see that this basement slab, ground level, plinth level, first floor, terrace level, this follows some hierarchy. That is the hierarchy in levels. But here in project browser, if you watch that, this are segregated alphabetically according to Google indexing. See, basement slab, first floor, and then we have ground floor, and then we have plinth level, site, and finally the terrace level. So this is not organized. So how to make it organized? So one way out, one desi method is that you just enter the numeric 0 and this to 1, 2, yes, and 3, and likewise. So that will make it fall accordingly to that numerics. Okay. But this is not an authentic way of doing it. Fine. The another way of doing is that you need to go to this levels and browser organizations, and herein you have to do something, but that is related with the 2D interface, so that I will teach you when we come to that particular point. Okay, fine. So right now, just in order to see all this in according to levels, according to heights, just enter the just make this numerical Just let's rename it and let it follow the numerical order and the chronology. Okay, fine. And then we'll come to that particular point, I'll show you that what is the way out, that despite of renaming it according to numerics, you can arrange it according to levels. Fine. So this was something I forgot to show you yesterday. And level 6, I don't need it. I just created to show you that how to make it an authentic layer. Okay. One more thing is that architecture and file and new and family. Yeah, that I showed you yesterday. Yeah, that RVT 2024, and that should be extracted properly, and you should have your family templates, libraries, and templates. This three folders extracted exactly perfectly. Then only you will be able to use this particular thing properly. Fine. So now from today we are starting with this actual Revit. So yesterday that was just an introduction. And today we are going to start with this particular architecture tab. Under that, all we have all the 3D drafting commands, and under that we have this build panel. Under build panel, first is this wall. Okay. See, this is the second lecture, so that's why I'm allowing you guys. Otherwise, after 7:40 or 6:40, no one will be allowed to join the live session. If you cannot join the live session, then you have to watch the recorded version. Okay, fine. Yeah. So what I'll do is that I'll just take this section markers a bit far away in order to have a clean canvas, free canvas to work on. Elevation markers, not section markers, sorry. Elevation markers. Okay. And under this architecture tab, under build panel, this first command, wall, WA is the shortcut. Okay. So as soon as I click this particular wall, you see that it accepts this basic wall generic 8 inches. Fine. If you just drop down this list, you have lots and lots of walls that comes with Revit. Okay. I'll come to that later. You have also this curtain wall and you also have this stacked wall. But this wall command itself is a big session that will take some day or two to complete it, or might be more than that, even more than that. Fine. So for this particular 8-inch generic wall, which is by default selected when you click this wall command, architecture and wall. So first is that this on this particular ribbon, this parameters get highlighted. These are called instance parameters. I said yesterday when we were when I was showing you this particular levels and grids, I told you that whatever pops up, the parameters and the properties which you can edit instantly for any element, 2D or 3D, those are called instance parameters. Okay. So as soon as you click this command wall A, WA, that is wall command, this instance parameters pops up. So let's try to understand what is that. First is this, that is that height or depth. Of course, we want the wall to elevate in height. Okay. Next is that all these levels will pop up, that what at what level you want your wall to snap to. Fine. So I will just select that I want my wall to go up till first floor. If you want it to go up till any custom height, then select this unconnected. Let's say that it's a parapet wall. Then parapet wall will have just height of 3 foot 900 mm. Okay. And you can draw that parapet wall. But I want it to go up till first floor. So as soon as you see that I enter this, select this first floor, you see that under this properties tab, properties toolbar, this changes that base constraint ground level and top constraint first floor, and the unconnected height now is 11 feet 6 inches. Why? Because the ground floor is 0. We have a plinth level of 18 inches. And then from 18 inches, we have a first floor 10 feet above the plinth level. So that makes it 11 feet 6 inches. Okay. Next is this location line. So that I will come back to it later. Fine. Just a second. Yes. So next is this location line. I'll come back to it. Fine. Now what is this chain? With this chain checked on, let me just open up this 3D view. And yesterday I told you that what if I want to have both these views? I want to see both these views simultaneously. So what was the command for that?
WT.
Very good. Who was that?
F.
Very good. Okay, WT and ZA. Fine. And now with this chain checked on, you see that if I just click anywhere in the space, it goes on creating the wall. Okay. And that wall is not only drawn in 2D, but it's elevated in 3D also. But the moment I uncheck this particular command and draw, then that will be the last point that wall will be drawn. And after that, there won't be any wall drawn. Okay. So that was pertaining to that instance property chain. Again, I will click WA. That is a shortcut for command wall. And next instance parameter is this radius. So with that clicked on and with chain checked on, with 1 foot of radius, let me change it to 2 foot. If I just go on drafting, you see that those corners are blunt and they are following the fillet of AutoCAD, and the fillet is 2 feet. Okay. If you want to have a straight corner, then just select this and you see that it reads 2 feet. I will just delete it. And one more command for today, which we are going to use a lot of times, which we are going to use maximum while using this Revit, is this trim extend corners. TR enter. I mean TR. Enter नहीं चलोगे तो चलेगा. TR, and that is fillet of AutoCAD. ठीक है? TR, just click this and click this. Fine. So you have a right angle joint. WA, and all these things are complete, or 1, 2, and 3. These 3 parameters are complete. Okay. Joint status, allow and disallow, that will follow in tomorrow's lecture because that has something to do with something else. This particular wall joints. वो तो बात की बात है. पर उससे पहले, what is this location line? Wall center line. Okay. Location line is wall center line and finish face exterior and interior, and core center line, core face exterior and interior. So what is that? So I will just come to this particular ground level, and herein I will just go to architecture tab and floor and floor architecture. Floor is a different topic, but right now, just to make you explain that particular command, I need to drop one floor rectangle. I'll just drop one simple floor and finish. Okay. So that floor has been created in 3D as well. Okay. Now I will say that WA and location line to wall center line. I will just snap to this endpoint and draw a wall. So what is that you notice? क्या कर रहा है वो?
वॉल सेंटर लाइन से
वॉल सेंटर से फ्लोर से बाहर जाती है लाइन.
हाँ.
फ्लोर से
इक्वल अमाउंट ऑफ वॉल ड्रॉ हो रही है इंटीरियर और एक्सटीरियर में.
वॉल क्रिएट हो रही सर सेंटर लाइन के थ्रू.
Very good. It is snapping to the center of the wall. Fine.
Yes.
WA. And now if I just say that finish face exterior, and if I click somewhere and draw the wall, then what do you notice is that it is snapping to the exterior face of the wall. Okay. And likewise, if I select interior, then it will snap to the interior face of the wall. But interior and exterior are one and the same. That can be toggled both of this function just by pressing space. See, जैसे ही space click करोगे तो you can turn between interior and exterior. Okay. But WA, what is this core center line, core face exterior, and core face interior? Okay. But to understand that function, you need to understand the assembly that comes with Revit. The wall assembly that comes with Revit. If I just press WA, then just I said earlier, we have lots and lots of walls that has been already built by Revit, of which I will select this brick and CMU on metal stud. Okay. This is just a name given by them. If I just go to File, New, and Project, Browse, and from here in Templates, instead of English Imperial, I will open up the English template, and from that I will open up this default metric. Open and open. So what that does, that opens the default project environment of Revit, but with metric system, meter and mm. Of that, if I just click wall, then you see that you have that same wall, but with dimensions are 200 mm and all that. Okay. Under that also you have this exterior brick on metal stud and all that. It has this extras. Fine. I'll just close it and we will stick to Imperial system. Under that, if I just drop this down and if I just select this exterior brick and CMU on metal stud, and if I just draw this particular wall with core center line, location line to be core center line, then what do you notice? You will notice that it is snapping to somewhere else. Why? Because the width modify, see, this is align dimensions and this is the temporary dimensions. Measure difference between two references. Measure between two references, matlab you can temporarily measure. If you want to lay the permanent dimension, then just click align. This is the detailed topic, which is a part of 2D interface that will follow. But right now, align dimension. And if I just hover, then since that wall has been created with location line to be core center line, it will, whenever you click this dimension, it will snap to the center of that core. But we need to measure the width of that entire wall. So what I'll do is that I'll just press tab, tab, tab again, tab, tab, and what you notice is that the thickness of it is 1/4 of an inch. That is 15.125 of an inch. Okay. And we have drawn that particular wall with the location line equal to core center line, but it is snapping to somewhere else and it is not snapping to the exact center of the wall. Because exact center of the wall is, if I just click on the architecture tab, you have this model lines. If I just click this model line, select it and drag it a bit far away. And if I draw another line, LI, then you see the center of this particular wall is supposed to be this point, but it is snapping to this point. So why it is like that? What it is snapping to? Okay. I will just press TW so that we'll have an expanded view of that. Also, if I'll just say wall WA and 8-inch, okay, an 8-inch wall, I will just draw this here, okay. Now, from herein, I will just turn this, this is called the detail level, okay, the detail level to medium or fine. Medium and fine are one and the same, but this visual styles, I'll just change to shaded. Then what you see is that this particular wall generic 8-inch appears different, and this this particular wall with this thickness slightly nahi, bahut zyada, it appears it has a drastic difference. Okay. Also, if I just change this to realistic, then the actual material applied to that particular wall will appear. See? Okay. So you need to understand this particular wall assembly. If I just go to, when I select this particular wall, when I select any of the wall, then under this properties toolbar, if you just go to edit type, then the construction part of that particular wall pops up, wherein you can view its construction part. Okay. And if I just go to edit type, then this is the composition or the formation of that particular wall. Okay, and if I just expand this preview, then this is how that particular wall has been structured or layered or formed. Okay, so you need to understand all this, that what is this exterior, interior, this default wrapping, modify vertical structure. If you want to see this particular wall in section, then this is the wall in section, and it is completely different from the normal wall. It is not a normal wall. For example, this is core boundary, and under that you have this structure one. If I just drop down, then you have the several different layers. Structure one, substrate two, thermal air layer, finish one, finish one 4, finish 2 5, membrane layer. ये सब समझना पड़ेगा. And also this material has been applied to it. Okay, under which you have this material browser that pops up, which is reading brick common, wherein its appearance is like this. But under graphics, you see that this is the surface pattern, cut pattern. ये सब क्या है? ये सब समझना पड़ेगा. ठीक है? If I just change this particular visual tiles to shaded, then it appears like this. If I change it to coarse, it appears like this. If I change it to hidden line, then everything is gone. ये सब कुछ समझना पड़ेगा. तो उसके लिए ये wall assembly समझनी पड़ेगी. और उसके लिए we will create one wall from starting, which is a simple generic 8-inch wall. Fine, a simple generic 8-inch wall. We will start with this particular wall, and we will end up creating this, and after creating this, we will move away from this. See, while in 3D environment, if I click this wall and if I want to flip the direction, flip between exterior and interior, I will just press space. That will flip. And you see that in 3D also, this wall is slightly different than this. Slightly nahi, bahut zyada different hai. Okay. From here, you can change the visual styles. I'll turn it to shaded. Then just like plan में मैंने नहीं बताया कि ये शेडेड कर दोगे और ये विजुअल स्टाइल को फाइन कर दोगे तो ये विजुअल अपीयरेंस चेंज हो जाएगा. वैसे दिस both of this are view specific, तो it pertains to all the views. ठीक है, तो ये ऐसे क्यों दिख रही है ये बॉल, तो वो समझना पड़ेगा. ठीक है, I'll just change it to consistent colors. Yeah, okay, this is better. So this is completely different wall than this regular wall. ये generic 8-inch wall है, simple wall है, और ये हमारी the wall that comes with Revit. So what we will do is that we will start with this simple wall, generic 8-inch. We will edit it and reach up to this level, and then we'll move ahead from that. Okay. Yes, so we will essentially start with this particular basic wall, 8 inches that comes with Revit, generic 8 inches. I'll just go to edit type. And what first I will do is that this is the system family, just like grid and level. This is also a system family which reads that basic wall. And Revit has 3 types of wall: basic wall, curtain wall, and stacked wall. And under basic wall, you have all this different types of wall that is designed by Revit. Okay, fine. So this generic 8 inches wall, I'll just go to edit type and I'm going to make changes to it. So what is the first step? The first step is that I don't want to lose the customization and the changes I don't want to mess with the system file. So what I'll do is that I will duplicate it and I'll call it PTS wall. Okay. Therein, after creating this particular wall into PTS wall, I'll go to edit type. Okay. And here is the point where we need to design this particular wall. Okay. But for that, you need to understand this particular entire assembly, wherein you have the exterior, interior, wrapping, vertical structures, and everything. Okay. So first is that if you ever happen to open up this with dialog box, just expand this preview and go to plan view. And right now this is a simple wall of 8 inches. Fine. So what I'll do from here in, first is that you need to understand this layers. So what I've inferred while working with Revit is that actually this layer doesn't have any logic to it. Okay. But what I have followed while selecting this wall and going to edit type and edit. I was supposed to make that explain earlier, but fine, I forgot. So whatever comes on the exterior side follows this substrate 2 and this membrane layer and thermal air layer 3 and finish 1 4. Okay, membrane layer can be added on both the sides, and what add on the interior side follows this finish to 5. Okay, it's not important. You can just drop this down and change this to structure 2 also. But that is a mechanism that has been followed by the wall assembly that comes with Revit. So we are just going to follow this particular thing. Okay, otherwise there is no mechanism to it. But it is just that whatever is between these two core boundaries is the structure 1. Then whatever is added on the exterior side is substrate 2. Then thermal air layer, membrane layer can be added on both the sides. Finish 1 4 and finish 2 5 on interior side. Okay. So we are just going to follow that order or the chronology that has been led by Revit. So I edit type and go to edit. And herein, first is that I'm going to say that insert. See, this is the core boundary which is between, this is the core structure which is between the core boundary and what that would be, I would just call it 6 inches. Okay. With this, we are going to understand this both the palettes, that is the detail level and visual style and also the materials. So it is going to be a multi-dimensional session. So just pay attention. Otherwise you won't follow. So for 6 inches walls, didn't I tell you that Revit is compatible with switching between units? You can just also, what is the standard thickness of the wall, the internal wall in mm?
4.5.
In mm?
150 mm.
Huh?
150
150,
150 mm. So if I just type 150 mm and just press enter, it will accept that particular. But you see that since the conversion is 1 inch is equal to 2.54 centimeters, we have this ugly fraction and variables. Fine. But it's not an issue. You can directly enter 6 inches. This was just I'm trying. I was just trying to show you that you can enter mm also if you just want it precise. Okay, fine. So structure 1 is going to be the 6-inch wall core structure. Then I'm just going to click this core boundary and going to insert. So what does the chronology that is led by that is given by Revit follows? Then this is supposed to be substrate 2. Fine. And what is going to be the thickness of that? That is 0.5 inches. Okay. You can also enter 12 mm, but that will enter this ugly fraction. So instead, just enter 0.5 inches. Okay. And I am going to apply it a material. Now you are going to discover something new. And you see that whenever I click this particular box, it opens up this dialog box which reads that material browser. Fine. Under this, you have this various materials that is predefined by Revit. This has a detailed section, which is the 9th topic. But as I said yesterday, that while working with Revit, various fields might overlap. So I need to make you explain this, the basics of this. Okay. And if you just drop this down, if you have properly accepted your library, then you have all this inbuilt material provided by Revit. Fine. Also, you have this asset browser. If you want to have any customized material, ये in itself it's a big session. You will slowly and gradually will understand everything. So don't worry right now. So right now I am just going to assign or inbuilt material that comes with Revit. Okay, and I will just type plywood and plywood shielding. This is an inbuilt material that comes with Revit. I'm just going to select this. And herein you have this different tabs: identity, graphics, appearance, physical, thermal. Of which this physical and thermal are very technical, and if it is not of use, identity that will follow later. इसका काम कहाँ है वो बाद में आएगा. Right now you just need to deal with this graphics and appearance. Okay. So graphics is something which deals with this different fields, that is shading, surface pattern and cut pattern. Surface pattern is that what is that you will see when you perceive this particular material in elevation, which has a foreground and background. Background is not of any use. Okay. And cut pattern is that what you will see when you assign this material and you cut it in, if you cut that element in plan or elevation or section. So that is cut pattern. Okay. That also has foreground and background. But in both the cases, that is the surface pattern and cut pattern, background is not of any use. और वो कहाँ काम का है वो भी बाद में follow होगा. But right now what you just need to understand is that surface pattern implies to what you see in elevation, and cut patterns is what implies that what you see in when the element is getting cut. But for this particular material, plywood shielding, you don't have anything even for surface pattern foreground and for cut pattern foreground. Both of them are reading nil, that is none. If I just click this particular thing, then you see that this fill patterns gets activated, and these are the predefined patterns that is given by Revit, just like AutoCAD. These are also the patterns which are drafting patterns and are model patterns. You will learn everything step by step, but right now just try to follow what it is. So this is graphics, which is meant true for this detail level. When the detail level is set to coarse, not that particular detail. Yeah, when that particular detail level is set to fine or medium, and when this visual styles is set to shaded, at that time this graphics will come into picture. Otherwise, most of the time you will use this appearance, which will have an JPEG image, JPEG assigned to it. If you just click this, then you see that this is a JPEG image and this is a tiling. If you might be knowing the other softwares, तो assign ऐसे ही होता है materials, JPEG image और उसका tiling होता है. Fine. So this is the inbuilt material of Revit, which I have added. 0.5 thickness. Okay, so that particular layer has been added. If I just turn it to modify attributes, and if I turn it to section attributes, and if you just zoom, then you see that that particular layer has been added here as well. Okay. Now, next part. I just go to insert, and now I will add one more layer, that is thermal air layer. Okay. And I give it a thickness of 3 inch. That layer has been added. And while going to this material part, there is a predefined material of Revit which reads air, wherein we have this air and we have this air infiltration barrier. दोनों ही मटेरियल के लिए अपीयरेंस में कुछ भी नहीं है. इसके ये एयर में ये है और उसके ग्राफिक्स में this got stuck. You see that under graphics also you have everything none, and under appearance also this is the material that have been applied to it. Okay, this is the color and this has the glossiness has been given to it. Reflectivity, transparency diye. Okay, air and air infiltration barrier and this air, all of that are same. So I'll just click provide that particular thing, that material to this particular wall. But now, what is this thermal air layer and why do we provide it? Which has a thickness of 3 inch. 3 inches, almost 75 mm. देखो 75 mm enter करूंगा, it will reach this fraction 261, this ugly dirty fraction. But that is nearing up to 3 inches. So as I said, Revit is compatible between switching between units. So I will just directly enter 3 inches. So what is the thermal air layer and why is it provided? किसी को पता है?
एक्चुअली सर इंसुलेशन शीट इंसुलेशन का काम करते हैं सर, ये तो सर अपना जैसे उसमें शेड में भी लगाते हैं सर इंसुलेशन सर, वो अंदर की गर्मी को और बाहर की गर्मी को अंदर बाहर नहीं रहती सर।
जिंदाल भाई, आपने अगर पिछले प्रीवियस लेक्चर्स के सेशन देखे हो तो आप प्लीज रिप्लाई मत कीजिए।
नहीं सर, वो नहीं देखे सर मैंने, एक्चुअली सर मैंने यहाँ पर काम करते हैं सर कंस्ट्रक्शन लाइन में।
Then it is fine. Then very good. Very good. Then I appreciate.
हम यूज करते हैं सर।
Yes. So thermal air layer is provided for heat and cold insulation, not sound insulation, but heat and cold insulation. That is, it might happen that your structure might put up an extremely cold region or extremely hot region. Then you don't want the outside moisture or outside temperature. Well, you want to control the temperature between outside temperature and inside temperature. And you don't want the outside temperature to penetrate into the building. So at that time, you provide this thermal air layer. Okay. That has a thickness of 75 inch. I will just roughly given it, following the wall assembly that comes with Revit. Fine. Next is that insert. I'll just drop this down and I will give this membrane layer. But if I just try to give thickness to this 2 inch and just click OK, what does it read? Membrane layer functions require 0 thickness. So this layer cannot be given any thickness, but still it exists and it is just a small sliver. And I will just click this particular thing and again just a bit of time it will take. Yes, and I will give it a material, existing material, damp proofing, which don't have anything in graphics, and in appearance it has been given this color. So what is this membrane layer? Can anyone tell?
डीपीसी से
हाँ,
डैम प्रूफ
क्या?
सर डीपीसी डैम प्रूफ कोर्स जो
डैम्प प्रूफ कोट तो वॉल के सबसे नीचे लगाया जाता है. Okay, you are partially correct. This membrane layer, which is a zero thickness layer, as per Revit, it is just a layer, a small sliver of hardly 3 to 4 mm in practical field, and that is provided. That particular membrane layer, that damp proofing layer, is provided to prevent the outside moisture to penetrate into the building. Okay, and that is why it is called membrane layer and it has been given the material of damp proofing. Okay, वो यहाँ नीचे भी आएगा डीपीसी का लेयर. वेरी गुड. whomsoever it was, क्या नाम था तुम्हारा? Yasin. Yeah, very good. Okay, for next is that I'm just going to go to insert, and now as per the Revit structure, what we are going to provide, what we will view on the exterior of side of that particular thing is that finish 1/4. And I'm just going to go to material and provide the existing material that comes with Revit and brick common. Okay, wherein this appearance, this JPEG image has been applied to this from this path. program files, common files, AutoCAD shared, materials, texture, one max. It is just a JPEG image that has been applied to it. See, these are the different JPEGs, JPEG image. So this is the realistic material. But what important is that under graphics, now you will see that for surface pattern, the foreground is this. The pattern is brick. Okay? Of this, that follows this drafting. इसमें होगा या किसमें था? मॉडल में था. This brick, yeah, fine. This model category इसमें से ये पैटर्न सिलेक्ट करके सरफेस पैटर्न में दिया है. एंड कट पैटर्न में ये दिया है. एंड यू सी दैट बैकग्राउंड इज नन फॉर बोथ ऑफ दिस बिकॉज उसका कुछ काम ही नहीं है. But what it implies is that whenever you will see this material in shaded view, in elevation, then it will display this pattern and this color. And whenever you will view it in shaded view, but in plan, then it will display this color and this pattern. Okay, so I will just apply that and just make you explain that zero thickness layer must have membrane layer function or must be deleted. अरे हाँ, इसको thickness देना है. So 0.25 of an inch, fine, or let's say 0.75 of an inch. देखा? मैंने बोला था ना कि मैं बार बार यूज करूंगा. So 0.75 is as per that particular image. 0.75 कहाँ गया? ये रहा 3/4 of an inch. ठीक है? Enter. Okay. Apply. And if you just see it in plan, then what do you see? See, didn't I say it while explaining you that particular material? That अगर plan में देखोगे तो ये color दिखेगा और ये pattern दिखेगी. But only in shaded view. So if I just go to ground level, then now this particular wall, which we started with 8 inch, right now you are seeing this particular visual style to be shaded. Okay. And the material is displaying this color because that brick common material has been applied to it. And if I just change this particular scale, then the pattern, you are seeing this diagonal. अभी ये diagonal क्यों दिख रहा है हमें? Why is this? Why is that we are seeing this diagonal pattern? For this material, for brick common material which has been applied to the external layer of this wall, उसके लिए हमें ये diagonal hatch क्यों दिख रही है?
सर आईएसओ के हिसाब से अलग अलग मटेरियल का अलग अलग सर वो दिया
अरे
symbol
नहीं
दिया
भाई,
गया है।
नहीं, इतना भारी मत बोलो यार. बहुत भारी बोल दिया तुमने. ऐसा कुछ नहीं है. मैंने क्लियरली समझाया. दिस पर्टिकुलर सी दिस थिन लाइंस TL इज द शॉर्टकट. यहां से ये शुरू करोगे तो ये डार्क हो जाएगा. ठीक है? अब तो किसी को समझ में आ रहा है कि ये डायगोनल पैटर्न्स क्यों दिख रही है और ये कलर क्यों दिख रहा है? Because this wall has been applied this material brick common to the farthermost layer, and if you just click this material, then I just explained that for graphics, for this shaded view, you will see this color, and when you will see that material in cut, whenever when you will see that material in cut, मतलब प्लान में ये कट हो रहा है तो दैट्स व्हाई यू आर सीइंग दिस डायगोनल अप. ठीक है? और ये कलर दिख रहा है. अभी इसको मैं 3D में जाता हूं और ये कर देता हूं तो यू सी दैट यू आर नॉट सीइंग दिस पैटर्न डायगोनल पैटर्न but you are seeing this brick pattern and that same red color because under its material category brick common this pattern has been applied for surface pattern foreground और कट पैटर्न foreground के लिए ये diagonal है और कलर दोनों के लिए सेम है. But if I just change this visual style from shaded to consistent color, then there will not be much of a difference. But if I just change it from consistent color to realistic, तो actual JPEG image जो apply की गई है वो दिखेगी। समझ में आ रहा है? इज एवरीवन फॉलोइंग?
यस सर।
या
यस सर।
ठीक है, प्रैक्टिस करोगे तो ज्यादा क्लियर होगा। एंड व्हेन आई क्लिक दिस वॉल, इफ आई जस्ट क्लिक स्पेस, then that will flip, इंटीरियर से एक्सटीरियर हो जाएगा। एंड CC, so that will, you will see it in consistent color. SH, you will see it in shaded, and R enter, you will see it in realistic. But this shortcuts won't work for you. ये शॉर्टकट्स मैंने एंटर किए हैं कहाँ पे? व्यू में, यूजर इंटरफेस में, कीबोर्ड शॉर्टकट्स में। इफ आई जस्ट टाइप कंसिस्टेंट कलर्स, तो CC आ गया, शेडेड SH आ गया, और रियलिस्टिक R एंटर। ठीक है, वो दैट इज माई प्रेफरेंस। यू कैन गिव योर शॉर्टकट्स, और अगर शॉर्टकट्स नहीं करोगे तो फिर यहां से चेंज करना पड़ेगा। ठीक है, अभी यहाँ ग्राउंड लेवल पे वापस जाता हूं मैं, एंड सो फार वी हैव डन दिस। ओके, so now what I'm going to do is that I'm just going to edit type and go to edit, and now I'm just going to click this and go to insert. So it has added one more layer, but that is between two core boundaries. So I will just press down and I will just change this to thermal. Okay, not thermal, membrane. Okay, यहाँ पे भी membrane layer provide कर देते हैं, and the same material, or let's provide a different material. But anyways, that has the zero thickness, so it doesn't make any difference. Okay, damp proofing का एक ही material है. But what I'll do is that I'll just click this and insert one more layer and down, and this should be finished to 5. ठीक है, और ये plywood shielding जो है ना, वो actually that material should have been provided here. Paste and 0.5 inches. इसको gypsum wallboard बना देते हैं। gypsum wallboard, जिसका appearance is simple white, and this has the graphics, wherein for cut pattern you have this foreground pattern of sand. Okay, and with this I'll just click OK. चलो दोनों ही प्लाईवुड रखते हैं, क्या फर्क पड़ता है। अप्लाई एंड ओके, and with this now if you just go to 3D and select this wall and press space, then what you see here is this color, shaded CC, yeah, CC consistent colors, उसमें ये ऐसा दिख रहा है, SH में ऐसा दिखेगा, और R एंटर रियलिस्टिक में ऐसा दिखेगा। देखो ये एक्चुअल मटेरियल जो डिस्प्ले किया है वो दिख रहा है हमें। ठीक है, फाइन। So this is how. So now we are moving towards this particular wall, and from this point we will continue on Sunday, and Sunday we will have a big lecture. 10 a.m. will be the joining time, and the end time is not decided. Fine. So all of you watch this video and get up to this point and let me know if you have any doubts or queries.